food that we grow here on site for the animals. We grow a lot of food on site. This is some of it we grow for the pandas. Here on the right-hand side, this is the beginning of our Africa Rocks exhibit. This is the very northern boundary of it. And Africa Rocks is the largest and most ambitious project we've ever undertaken here at the zoo. It took us about 10 years to plan it and 3 to build. And the premise of it is to celebrate the biodiversity of the continent. So in here, you're going to find 6 different habitats or ecosystems from Africa. And a habitat encompasses not only animals, but also plants. So you're going to find native plant species located in here as well. And I think you'll find some very fascinating plants here in Africa Rocks. Now, up ahead on the left-hand side, I'm going to point a palm tree out to you. It's here on the left. It's going to be growing kind of over the bus. And do you notice the way the leaves look almost like the tail of a fish? Well, it's called a fish-tailed palm. And that particular species is a terminal bloomer. And what that means is it grows for its entire life, and then it blooms once. Once it blooms, it dies. Now, a lot of people are really surprised to hear that. They're like, wait, a palm tree blooms? But yes, palm trees do. They do grow seeds and flowers, and they do bloom. Here on the right-hand side, this is our Australia outback, and it looks like these little structures with the round metal tops. Those are some of our koala trees. And it looks like the heaters are on to help keep them warm today. And we have the largest colony of koala outside of Australia here at the zoo. And we're going to roll here through Sydney Plaza. On the right-hand side, we have another restaurant. This is Sydney's Grill. On the left-hand side is one of our gift shops. And, you know, because we're a nonprofit, any money that you spend while you're here at the zoo today, whether it was for your admission ticket or for any concessions, being a nonprofit, all that money goes towards the care of the animals here at the zoo, but it also goes towards those conservation and research projects we're involved with all over the world. So you guys can feel really good about being here today because you're a hero for wildlife just by visiting. Now, we just turned on Center Street. We're following along on a map, and this is also known as Bear Canyon. But first, I'd like to point a plant out. If you look on the left-hand side of the road, just next to these lights, these holiday lights, you're going to see a plant growing kind of next to the ground. They look like palm trees, but they're indeed not palm trees. This is a species called a cycads, and their closest relative, they're conifers. And the reason I'm talking about them is they're kind of cool because they've been around a really long time. They've been around since the Mesozoic era. So we have fossil records that this is one of the specimens of plants that dinosaurs ate. Hey, you guys are in luck. On the right-hand side there, that little brown bear there, that's Francis. Francis is an Andean bear. And it's a sun bear. And the sun bear is found over in Borneo. And this is the smallest bear species in the world. And little Francis there is facing some challenges out in the wild. Her breed. Now, they live over in Borneo in the rainforest. And as I mentioned earlier, rainforests are disappearing at a pretty alarming rate. So they're losing habitat. And one of the challenges for, actually, you guys, here on the right-hand side, if you look in the cave, right next to that raised platform, that little pedestal back there, look just beyond it, and you can see the snow leopard walking in the cave there. It's a gray leopard with a black spot. Yeah, that's great. We often don't see the snow leopards during the day because, as I mentioned, cats are crepuscular. Now, those snow leopards live over in Asia. Their natural habitat is the Himalayas. And that's very gray, rocky terrain. And that coloring helps that snow leopard blend into their environment so they can sneak up on their prey when they're hunting. And I don't see our grizzly brothers out today, so it looks like they're in their off-exhibit area, staying dry and warm. But we do have 2 grizzlies here. Their names are Scout and Montana. You might want to take a later in the day. And this exhibit here on the right is another small black bear. This one is the Andean bear. And the Andean bear, oh actually I think I see one of our bears. If you look in the cave towards the front of the bus, on the left hand side of the cave there's a big bedding of straw. And I think one of the bears is lying down on that. Now this bear lives in South America. They live around Peru. And this is the only bear species that can be found in the southern hemisphere. Oh, there's our male Turbo, right there. He's with one of his enrichment items. This is that bone you see there. Go do. Yeah, if you get a good look at his face, oh, he's grabbing some of his nest. He's making a little nest with the straw there. And I think it's going to bring his bone up into his nest. Yeah, there he goes. He just hopped up into his nest with straw. So he's trying to be comfortable. I don't know if you got a glimpse of his face, but you might have noticed some tan rings around his eyes. Well, that's another name we call this bear, spectacle bear. It makes it look like they're wearing glasses. And if anyone's familiar with the childhood book, Paddington Bear, well, this is the bear species that character was modeled after. Okay, we're going to zip down the rest of Center Street. On the left-hand side is the Lost Forest again. This part of it here is called Fern Canyon. It's one of the oldest parts of the zoo. Fern Canyon was built in the 1930s. And up there you'll find Owens Aviary, which is one of the largest walk-through aviaries in the world. And up on the top of the ridge there, you'll find a lot of our primates that call the rainforest home, including the gorillas from Africa and orangutan from Asia. Now, I mentioned that rainforests around the world are disappearing pretty quickly. Now, if you can picture a football field in your mind, okay, multiply it times 80,000. That's how much rainforest we're tearing down every single day all across the world. And so all sorts of animals are losing their habitat and becoming extremely endangered, like the orangutan. The good news is everyone can do something. One of the reasons we're clearing rainforests are for palm oil plantations. And palm oil is in everything. I tell you, it's in about 70% of all the consumer goods that we purchase. You can find it in everything from peanut butter to cosmetics, shampoo, you name it. So what can you do about it? Well, if you're purchasing a product that contains palm oil, look for a symbol on that product that tells you that it was sourced from a sustainable farmer. There's also an app you can download. I have it on my phone. It's published by the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And with that app, I can scan barcodes of any product I'm purchasing, and it will tell me whether that parent company and or that product sources their palm oil from sustainable places. So when I'm shopping, I can make much better choices and ensure that I'm being a hero for wildlife like the orangutan. Okay, we're going to go up the backside of Africa Rocks. That tunnel that you see on the left-hand side will take you into the aquarium. Oh, I just saw a penguin swimming through the aquarium. Here on the left-hand side, on the other side of the wall, we're going to see our penguin beach. And this is home to our African penguin colony. This is a breeding colony we have here at the zoo. Now, they share this habitat. It's a 200,000 gallon aquarium. Oh, I see a lot of them in the